Hello everyone and welcome back to Timberborn. This is the 4th episode of the One Pod Challenge. In the last episode we managed to build the bot assembler and the bot part factory, and we also have our first bot in the district. Ironbot 1 is our first beaver bot of this series, and although we made the 2 buildings to create and assemble bots, we have not made the mechanism in order to charge them yet. So we'll have to unlock the charging station, but it costs 200 science. We don't have that right now. But more importantly, we have a bad tide approaching in 0.1 days, and we are very ill prepared for it. We are pretty short on food, water, we're not quite maxed out, and this bad tide will probably last for at least a couple days, but we are potentially going to be losing all of our crops and then maybe even all the blueberries. But there is no point in delaying the inevitable, so we'll go ahead and start this up. I worked the beavers pretty hard yesterday, so they are probably going to be sleeping right now and sleeping into part of the day. But as you can see, the bad tide is starting. It's kind of hard to tell, but there is some bad water that's starting to spawn up here. Thankfully we have a little bit of time to pump some more water, and you can see the bot, he is now in need of a charge. So we'll need to switch this back to beavers, and unfortunately we are running low on beavers once again. I think that we are good on builders right now. This guy, yeah, he's carrying scrap metal. We do not need to have him doing that. The bad water is slowly starting to fill this whole area. You can see that the bad water hasn't even made its way out of here yet. And we also need to get some more science so we can unlock the charging station. Oh, that was it? I didn't even realize that it was that short of a bad tide. Well, maybe we'll end up okay. I guess that was actually way more mild than I thought it was going to be. We'll switch these guys back to planting, and then I guess we can just pause these guys for now. Blueberries, they're okay. We have plenty, don't need to have that going. Okay, to be quite honest, I thought it was going to be way worse than that. Interesting, so this just doesn't work at all. I think these just become slightly less efficient when there's bad water in here, but I guess the showers just don't work at all. So now that we survived the bad tide, let's go ahead and make sure we have some inventors. We're doing good on food, so we can actually even reduce this to just 1 beaver in the farmhouse. We don't need it prioritized by haulers anymore, and we honestly don't even need a hauler right now. So for this upcoming wet season, what I think we should focus on is first and foremost getting a charging station. That way we can actually charge the bots and have them work for more than just 1 day. But then once we have that, we'll need to obviously keep up our production over here so we can get the resources to assemble bot parts. Other than that, we do really need to focus on getting some water dumped into these areas. We'll need to set up some irrigation ponds. That way we don't need to worry about the crops dying during a bad tide, which we got pretty lucky since the first one was really short. But when the bad tides come around later, we're not going to be quite as lucky. So far I've counted 5 jobs that do not require science to switch the job from beaver to bot. So it is the lumber mill, and then there's the lumberjack flag, the builder's hut / district center, the gatherer flag, and then last but not least the water pump. So it's pretty cool that you can utilize bots right off the bat. One job that I would love to throw the bots in would be the bot part factory. Unfortunately, it is 5,000 science, and the bot assembler is double that at 10,000. And just like that, we hit the 200 science mark. So let's go ahead and unlock the charging station. We'll get our first one placed right here, and then now we don't need science quite as much. We'll pause one of these inventors' huts and then get this district center up and running. And then we can get this switched to bots. We'll have him start chopping down some wood as soon as the charging station is up and running, and then he can go charge himself. And then we can also unpause the bot part factory. We'll have him work on bot chassis for now. Then we can go ahead and pause this other inventor's hut and then make sure that we have the scrap metal collector up and running, since we're starting to run a little bit low. And look at that, the bot is charging himself up. He's already 10% used up, and he's only been useful for like a day so far. But now he'll be able to help out the colony, start chopping wood, and there is plenty of wood to be chopped. So as we continue to expand our colony, we will look at getting some irrigation set up over here. So we'll have this little area set up for the irrigation. We'll have the farmer remove this crop when he gets the opportunity to, and then we'll place a fluid dump right here. We'll have the path zigzag around, and I am going to leave this spot open for now since there's bad water in here. We want to flush this whole system out. Basically, we'll have them dump water into here, and then it'll start overflowing with the mixture of bad water and water. And then at a certain point we can get another block placed here to block it off. Looks like he made a bot chassis. He's making a second one right now, so we'll let him finish that off. Then we can switch to a different bot part. We are 10 days into the new wet season. Things are looking pretty optimistic right now. We're doing really good on wood. We haven't had the pumps running in a while. Food is starting to run a little bit low, but we can always bump that up. In fact, I'm going to learn my lesson from last time. Let's go ahead. We'll reduce how many beavers we have in the builder's hut, and we'll bump up the amount of beavers here. Make sure that we're not potentially running completely out of food, especially if a longer bad tide comes around and it actually ends up killing some of these crops. So we'll have those two working in there. The beavers are making some good progress getting the foundation of all of this built. We're doing good on science. I think we need like 250. Yeah, 250 to unlock the fluid dump. And hopefully this beaver will get rid of this kohlrabi right here and harvest it. Now that there's two of them, I'm hoping that that'll spread out a little bit the range of what they can actually harvest. You know, actually, since I need them to come over here in order to actually construct all this, we can go ahead and delete these. And then we can just move those right in here. And then we'll place a water dump in this area. That way we don't need to worry about zigzagging the path. Looks like they have 8 bot limbs right now. So we'll go ahead and let him finish this one, and then we'll switch him over to the bot heads. And overall we're doing pretty good on resources. We have 19 gears, 6 metal blocks, and then 16 planks. This iron bot is chopping away. He's making some good progress on some of the oak trees over here. Once we have some more workers in this district and we have access to dynamite, I'll want to go ahead and lower this area, and then we can get some more efficient storage set up. Since right now it's just a bunch of little 1x1 storages, other than these couple of warehouses that are for food and berries. Thankfully we have a drought incoming and not a bad tide, so we have 3 days. We want to make sure that we can make the most of our power situation. Once he finishes constructing this head, we'll maybe try and have the beavers work in here to get another bot assembled by the end of the wet season. And he is just about done making this bot head, so now we can go ahead and pause him. We'll unpause this, and the 3 jobs that are vacant are these 2 inventors huts plus this lumberjack flag over here. But with the bot working, we don't really need 2 lumberjacks going on right now. Now we'll go ahead and bump up the amount of working hours to 18. I think with them working that much, 2 18-hour days, they should be able to finish it. We're partway through the first day. Tomorrow will be a full 18-hour day, and then partway into the beginning of the drought, there should be some bad water still flowing as it empties out, which is how we made our first bot, so I'm hoping that'll be enough for the second bot. And I just realized that we're actually running really low on water. Let's go ahead and have a bot work in here. So we'll have the lumberjack flag is currently unoccupied. That's okay since we have over 100 wood. And then as soon as this bot is finished being assembled, then he'll be able to immediately hop in the lumberjack flag. And now the drought has started. It is a 6-day drought. I think it's the longest one that we've experienced so far, but we haven't really been impacted by them since the water elevation doesn't drop below this tile right here. Although where we notice it most is in the power production, which we can go ahead and pause all of these buildings except for the bot assembler. Now that we have some extra beavers, we can get a second builder, and then let's get some more food production over here. We'll just do 1 instead of 2. This is going to be pretty close. They're at 97%, but the amount of efficiency is dropping by the second. Oh, come on. You can do it. Oh my gosh. They're going to be at 99%. Are you kidding me? We were so freaking close. Well, we're gonna pause these beavers, leave it at 99%. We can once again reprioritize this building by haulers. since last time we switched it to be these three, which I don't think we need these to be prioritized anymore. Oh, and I guess this guy isn't gonna work, so we'll have to switch his back to beavers. We will need to figure out a power solution. We'll have to get some engines up and running. Those cost a fair bit of science and also a decent amount of metal blocks and gears. We'll also want to look at getting a gravity battery, but I think the next thing we'll do is get an engine up and running. We'll probably have the first engine placed right here. I think we will move it down the road, but just to keep it simple, we'll have it placed right here. And we just passed the 250 science mark, which means we can get a fluid dump set up, and we'll have them lower prioritize this. That way they don't end up trapping themselves over here. You know, if I had paused this during the end of the wet season or beginning of the bad tide, there is a chance this bot would have been created. We don't need to worry about leaving this open since it looks like the bad water evaporated or it just wasn't that high of a level to begin with. So we'll get that last levee placed here. They should be able to reach it from this side. We can also reduce the working hours back down to 16 since some of the beavers are not enjoying themselves quite as much. They don't have enough time for the fun activities like the rooftop terrace or the campfire. And with the beavers almost being done with constructing this fluid dump, we are going to wait to start filling this until maybe the next wet season, since we have a good amount of water, but we don't really need to waste our time filling it up right now. We have some other more important jobs that we want to focus on. But now that we have it constructed, we can go ahead and look at getting enough science so that we can get an engine set up. Takes 400. We have no vacant jobs. We'll toss one of the extra beavers into this water pump. Just try and get our water stores up a little bit. So we should have 3 inventors that's running in the morning, and then that should get us to 400 science in a reasonable amount of time. And the drought has officially ended. We're at the beginning of the 7th wet season, and I am looking forward to it. We'll go ahead and pause this farmhouse. We'll have him work in the lumberjack flag for now over here, help chop some trees down. But as soon as these power wheels start going again, we'll get this bot assembler unpaused, and we can just have 1 beaver working in there just to get that final percentage finished off. And you can see the water wheels are slowly turning on. Hopefully the bot will be wandering over here really shortly. Yeah, it looks like he is. Now we can go ahead and turn on the bot assembler, and just like that, they finished it. It took all of 2 seconds. So now we can pause this once again. We are short on bot heads. So let's see, do we have everything we need for this? We have planks, gears, and metal blocks. But now we have a job that is unoccupied by the bots. I think it was the water pumper. So let's actually get a bot working in the lumber mill. So now we have a bot in the lumber mill and the lumberjack flag. We'll also get the smelter up and running. So we're doing good on water right now. We do have a water pumper still. Looks like he's actually almost completely maxed out. Let's go ahead and pause him. Food we're doing great on, 137 overall, 95 berries. We'll go ahead and leave these 2 beavers in here since we have a couple more workers with the bots now working. And then we'll slowly start filling up the vacant jobs. We are just over 300 science, which means that we're less than 100 away from getting an engine. And then we'll go ahead and place that right here as soon as we get enough science. We will also want to look at getting a bad water pump set up. I think that a good spot to have it will be right over on the backside of this hill. We know we want to have the bot part factories over here and here. So I think that right in this area will be a good spot for it. We can go ahead and get a couple stairs placed down. We won't be constructing it yet since the district center is currently paused. And then as soon as this guy finishes assembling the bot heads, we can go ahead and switch a beaver to be in here. And there we go. We'll pause this, unpause this. We'll go ahead and actually put 2 in here since we have a few vacant jobs that we can spare. And then getting this done in 36 hours, that'll help us quite a bit. And so as we get more and more bot assemblers, we'll need to make sure that we can place them somewhere that they will be efficiently used. Right now, the lumberjack flag and the plank factory will be good places. We can also put one in the water pump permanently. And since science is such an issue right now, that's kind of the limiting factor. We'll want to make sure that we have these up and running as much as we can. So we'll probably place some more bots in the district center itself for assembling other items. In fact, we can actually reduce the priority of this, and then we'll switch it to bots, and then we will leave it on. And honestly, since we have 3 vacant jobs, 2 of them being these inventors' huts and 1 being the lumberjack flag, I'm okay if we get the beaver out of the lumberjack flag and into the bot assembler. Looks like we're missing bot heads, and then we'll need some more bot limbs, so we'll leave this on bot heads for now. We'll have him in here. Just kidding, we have an extra job we have to pause. We're almost at the 400 science, so for now we'll pause one of these inventors' huts. I think we will simultaneously finish up producing this bot and then also get to 400 science, which will be perfect timing since we'll have the next bot hop into the district center. He'll work on these couple of stairs right here, and then I can unlock the engine and then have that placed right down here. Looks like we do have the resources we need. I don't know if we have quite all of them. Looks like we're missing just a little bit of iron blocks. And looks like these guys just finished making the bot. We'll go ahead and pause this once again. And so that bot, he hopped in here. Where is he? He's already working on the stairs. And we just hit 400 science. Let's quickly go ahead and get this unlocked. And then we'll place it right there. So now the bot should be able to work on constructing this. We will need to work on getting some more gears, so we'll unpause this. We're still playing musical jobs. I think this will be the last episode where we have to really be concerned about where we're putting the beavers. Since now we're starting to ramp up production, we have 3 bots already, and we're working pretty quickly to get the resources for the next bot. Once they finish constructing this second bot head, we'll switch this over to bot limbs. Looks like he finished constructing the engine. We'll go ahead and pause that. We don't actually have anything to work on, so we'll leave this as a lower priority, and then we can switch this to bots. We'll throw him in there, and so he'll keep our water levels high. We have 3 vacant jobs once again, but that is okay. But now we have something that we can use during the drought. We can keep the essentials going, specifically the charging station. And then we'll probably also have maybe 2 or 3 of these 3 buildings right here running, since they're kind of the bread and butter of all of our production. We are actually pretty quickly running out of jobs that the bots can do that don't require science to unlock. Since we have a bot in the lumber mill, and then we also have one over here in the lumberjack flag, plus we have a beaver in the water pump. But like I said before, the only other jobs that I can see that they can hop in would be the gatherer flag and the district center. And then some of the other jobs that I want them in, like the gear workshop and the smelter, those both cost a decent amount. This one's 1,000 science, this one is also 1,000. And they can't actually work in the inventor's hut. This is a beaver only job. And really I wouldn't want them to be in the hauling post, since that means that they would be walking all the way over here, and if they run out of power over here, it takes them forever to walk back this way. We could throw some in the farmhouse. That's 500 science. That's a little bit more reasonable. Since we're running solo on science, what I think I want to do is get enough science that we can unlock this, and then that'll allow us to start putting some more bots in here. We can reduce the amount of beavers that are working here, and then funnel more of them into the inventors' huts. Since a number cruncher takes 500 HP to run and 1.5 thousand science to unlock, I don't think we can get here quite yet. I think we need to get some more bots before we can realistically look at that. Looks like we have our 4th bot that just got finished, so I went ahead and paused the bot assembler. We are doing good on bot parts. Looks like they just finished this, so we'll switch this to bot chassis. So once I get this chassis up and running, then we can go ahead and once again turn on the bot assembler. But what we can do for now is we can reduce or increase these priorities to 2nd to lowest. I switched this lumberjack flag to bots, which looks like the iron bot hopped in there. And then we can have this lowest priority and turn this on. So we'll have once again 2 vacant jobs, but these will be where beavers can float in and out of. Since it's not a bad idea to get some extra food set up. Looks like we're hovering right around 130-ish food with just these 2 beaver farmers working. But actually, you know what I'm realizing? I bet, yeah, so we're maxed out on water. Let's turn this fluid dump on. We have 2 vacant jobs once again. They're both in this farmhouse, and so we'll have this beaver start filling this up, and then the bot will be able to replenish our water stores. Actually, looks like we are basically maxed out on planks, so we don't need this guy working in here. I guess for now we'll have him store up on berries, so we'll turn this on, move him over here. Oh, but one thing we can do, let's unpause this. So we're going to draw one of the iron bots from this lumberjack flag, I believe. We'll have him work in the district center, and then we'll have him create a second charging station. We are a little bit low on resources, but he will assemble this as he can. This guy is sitting around a bit, and looks like that guy is as well. Man, all the bots are sitting around. He's here. We should try and get some more wood storage set up, even if it's temporary. We'll get a couple of wood piles set up right here. That way Ironbot 2 can keep chopping wood to his heart's content. I guess one thing we can do is get some more inventor's huts built. And it looks like we have a drought approaching. We have 3 days until then. Overall, we're doing pretty good. Right now, the biggest hurdle is science, but that is an okay problem to have for now. We have 4 bots who are up and running, which is fantastic. Resources are all looking great. Water, wood, food, and then some of these are a little bit low, but we'll be working on that in the upcoming episodes. And then once we hit that 500 science threshold, we will switch this job to bots, and then we won't have any bots who are sitting around. So if you enjoyed today's episode, go ahead and smash that like button. I really do appreciate it. And let me know how you've been enjoying the series thus far. And with that, I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.